everybody, welcome back. Shane Green here. I'm the Culture Hacker. All right, let's talk about technology. I know, we can't escape from it. Technology seems to be in every aspect of our lives, and in human resources, there is no difference. It seems everywhere we turn, we're introducing a new piece of technology, whether it's to organize data, help in the selection process, recognition, communication, learning and development, performance management, career pathing. You guessed it. If you think it's something to do with the employee experience, there's some technology being introduced. Now, I'm a big fan of technology, but I want to put this caveat out there because we're seeing it time and time again. When a piece of technology is being introduced, it's seen as the whole program rather than just a tool. And you see, what's happening is we're starting to lose some of that human emotion. We're starting to lose some of that impact that is really important in an employee's day-to-day routine. We're also seeing too many managers handing off their leadership responsibilities to a piece of software. Let me give you some examples. Let's start with recognition. I think every large organization these days seems to have this recognition platform where anyone in the company can give out points and thank yous via the technology. Listen, I think it's great. And the idea that more and more people are recognized, good thumbs up. But the reality is that while more people are being recognized, you must understand that at the same time, we're seeing less human emotion, less celebration. Because we've seen too many times managers are now going, the only thing they have to do for recognition is sign into a software platform, cut and paste some thank yous, and hand out some points. Don't forget, employees still want that personal thanks. They still value that. And they also like the emotion of hearing their peers clap and cheer for them. So while you've got this recognition platform in place, don't think for a moment that that's the only form of recognition. It's just a tool. You have to still add that emotional element into it and make sure your people are feeling your recognition. So what about selection? Listen, we've seen it. All this applicant tracking software is the big craze. You know, where you go online now, applicants fill out all their information there and it automatically gets processed through to the managers. Now, if you've ever used this application software, what it really focuses on is your work history, what roles you've had, and the tasks that you have delivered. And nowhere does it talk about your accomplishments, lessons learned, what you struggled with. It doesn't give any personality. Now I know you're saying, well, wait up, Shane, that's what the interview process is for. I agree. The problem is we've come across many managers now, the ones that I've talked about before, that are completely addicted to experience, that's all they care about, who are now just utilizing an application out of this software to make decisions about who they should hire. They're pretty much reducing the interview process, the important part to really know if they'll be a right fit, just to a tick of the box. And it's no wonder today we have more and more companies hiring just warm bodies than the right people. Another area where we're seeing this technology take over, of course, is communication. All these cool apps and platforms are being rolled out as a new way of communicating. And again, I'm a big fan once again. But you got to keep in mind that not everybody has a smartphone or easy access to a computer. One of the interesting elements we did recently, or we found out, was in a company, almost 50% of their workers didn't have easy access to a computer or had a smartphone. Therefore, as they rolled out this new communication app, we had to recognize that almost 50% of those workers, it would have very little impact on. And that is why you can't just roll out a piece of technology. You've got to, in this case, roll out a communication strategy to make sure that everyone in the organization is receiving the necessary communication. Love the new app, but it's important to understand, once again, that it's not what communication is all about. And then the other area that I think is kind of interesting is leadership development. You hear it all the time. There's a lot more e-learning, online learning that is really being promoted and pushed out there in terms of leadership development. Listen, I get it in terms of giving some viewpoints and some ideas, but the important thing about leadership is that it's not necessarily something you can learn from a software program. You see, leadership is about influencing, impacting, and inspiring people. It's getting them to want to do something that maybe they didn't want to do, putting in more effort, giving more energy, doing a task, owning a situation, whatever it is. And you see, in terms of leadership, I think it's about elevating one's interpersonal skills. And you see, to do this right, you need to actually do it with people. So, while it's great to have some sort of e-learning where you can share some different ideas, real leadership development comes back into the classroom where role-playing, scenario-based training, or one-on-one interactions can really be thought through and help that manager develop. Listen, I'm all for technology, but what we've got to be careful for is that it's not taking over and turning all of our interactions into transactions. And that's my caveat for companies today. Make sure that whenever you roll a piece of technology out, that there's a larger strategy behind it. It's not just about the technology, or as you will find, managers and employees alike will think that that's the only thing they need to do to tick that box. And so my challenge for you this week is really simple. Get out from behind your desk, get out from your offices, go and say thanks. Put that personal element back into your interactions so that regardless of all the technology we have around us, all the good things that it's allowing us to do, just remember this. While technology is not going away, the personalization of your employee experience is not going away too. Thanks again for listening, and we'll check into it with you soon. Cheers.